Đây là ô mai ở Mỹ chứ đâu cần ở Việt Nam mới có ô mai đâu. Ô mai của Mỹ à. Ủa, 4 đô, 6 đồng. 6 đồng tiền ca một cái mấy quả ô mai. Ô, nó đi rồi à?
Đâu đây?
Bây giờ mới đi. Lên trên này.
Cậu không một đủ có gặp nhau.
Ngồi ngang, ngồi dọc. Ngồi ngang, ngồi dọc.
Nên tại sao nó không cho là như vậy?
Sao? Mấy người đứng là tưởng đi đến đây mà không đi à?
Right. Sorry, there's not enough room for two of us to squeeze through that right there. I'm gonna let him come out first. You ever been on the freeway going full speed? Someone pulls out in front of you, makes you slow down. No, I want to be that guy. Oh, bird mess? All right, I'll get away. We're not tight now.
Thế là mình ngồi hết đấy.
Sang bên này. Chị ngồi đây.
Now this bridge is infamous right here.
Nhà này đông ghê không?
Anh sang bên này để tí nữa. Anh ra bên này buồn.
Đó.
Cứt chi biểu ở đây.
Nhà này lên là kín hết.
All right. Clean that up.
Ôi lần đầu tiên là cái em ô mai.
Okay.
Mình Tây.
We'll see you guys back about 8 o'clock. Okay, be safe.
Mấy giờ rồi?
Have a good trip.
Mấy giờ?
Somebody said they were driving. It's mostly right turns. Mostly.
Nửa
Have
tiếng.
you been drinking?
Đây một nhiều chỗ nó không lên à? Không cho lên à? Ngồi đủ.
And you're qualified. Go
Một
right
nhà nó
ahead.
đấy á.
Really, you kind of calms your
Đây
nerves,
một nhà nó một tàu rồi.
Oh, cool. Nobody? All right.
Nếu thế một nhà nó một tàu rồi. Trống này không cho nó ngồi đủ.
Đến giờ.
Usually they hand out all those beers. They like to put a driver on the bottom of them.
Anh ngồi đây đi, không có ai ngồi đây đi.
They'll figure it out from there.
Sao anh ngồi đây đi, không có ai ngồi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Go Rio Cruises. Welcome to the beautiful San Antonio Riverwalk. And your tour guide. We're going to travel 2.5 miles together in a giant circle. It's going to be awesome. Should take about 30 minutes to get back to where I picked you up. Like I said, about 8 o'clock. If
Nó phải làm cái
everything
đường
goes
ngang
safe
này
and
thôi.
well.
Người ta ngồi tới tiến đây,
It
đi
is.
đây thôi.
It is my first day today.
Been drinking that?
No. Unfortunately. Some of you guys look kind of concerned about it. There are more than 30 bridges we have to pass under. Some of them are really low. Feel free to count them. Yeah, I just need everyone to stay seated. Watch your hands and elbow phones. The beds were made. They had towels and soaps in the bathrooms already. They used cranes. They weighed 35 tons each. And lifted the rooms and they stacked them together all the way to the top plate. Giant Lego blocks. They were. You see, they stacked all the rooms in 48 days. 3 days later they opened. All the guests were checking in. 3 days after the last rooms were stacked, people were sleeping in. But 2 days after they opened, our World's Fair started, April 6th, 1960. So they weren't trying to gain a Guinness record to build a hotel. They were trying to finish it before the fair started. They got it done 5 days early. Finished April 1st. The fair started on time. It was a deadline. They got lucky and they were given a Guinness record. And right now, we're passing through the only river theater in the United States. You can see the seats on the left, they can be test seats. I know, it was my favorite part of the movie too. Yeah. Take a look at the bells back there, the 5 bronze bells on the back wall. For the first 5 Taco Bells.
Cây đẹp lắm mà.
You guys remember the movie Sunset? Not right now, it'll be about maybe 10 minutes from now. They come out for about 5 or 10 minutes. You might see some of them flying out a little high. But in this bridge right here, there's probably about 30 bats that live under this bridge. And they come out. Oh look, you saw them just crawl up under. Look, see? That's a bat. Yeah. They're free-tail bats. Look. Look. So it's really cool when you see them, because under this bridge, they'll swarm over the boat like this because of the lights we have. It's their breakfast time, and they'll come out of these little holes in here, and these little holes. You'll hear them squeaking. You hear that? They're doing that because of these lights. When these lights go by, they do that, and it helps them see as well. They can see very well. Of course, the sound helps them a lot more with the bugs, because they eat all the bugs out of the air. A bunch of little gnats. It's their breakfast time. They come out every night from April until October. Sometimes they'll be out here till December, because if we get hot winters, you know, till about January, February, it starts getting cold, really, really cold. For Texans, it's really, really cold. For everybody else, it's like a breeze, you know. Say again? Oh, yeah, we had snow last year, but we haven't had snow since the 80s like that. It really doesn't snow in this part of Texas, no. And people have asked if the river freezes over. That's never happened.
Yeah.
But there's a bad thing about the rain coming into the river. Think about it hitting the buildings, then the streets, then it comes down. Think about everything it brings in with it. All the Whataburger cups and H-E-B bags and all the waste from the streets. Don't test it, but we do use them during thunderstorms, during the river drain. Last time I saw this one in use was during the drain back in 2020, in January. We also drained it this year, but in 2020, they drained the main channel and this part was kept full. We conducted cruises while they cleaned the main part. This year we drained the whole thing. Esquire Tavern right here, oldest bar on the river, opened the day after Prohibition ended back in 1933. Yeah, that's one of the oldest in the nation. The repeal was December 5th, and they were fully stocked somehow at 12:01 midnight, 1 minute later. Yeah, before midnight, they were the Esquire Barbershop. Give it a try, it might be the first one tonight. On the left here, it's the first hospital built in a skyscraper in 1930. Take a look all the way up on the left. First hospital built in a big flat roof wall. 1930, the Nix Emergency Clinic. It was the first fully functioning hospital to have an air conditioning system. Antonio was the first city in the world to have a business building with an AC, a hospital, a hotel, a bank, and a theater. All in the 1920s and 30s, guys. First in the world at that time to have ACs. And this was one of them, the Nick's Clinic. It shut down 3 years ago. I don't know, I guess I got some kind of heads up, you know. It was about 6 months before COVID hit everybody. It shut down in 2019. It was a clinic for 90 years, yeah. My little brother was born here in 93. Marriott purchased the building for $20 million, December 2019. To renovate that into a hotel, so it's going to take a while. It's pretty massive. If you look back, there's the full structure. After we pass this magnolia tree here, if you look back over it, you see the full building. You know, that's the fourth Marriott. Once it becomes a Marriott, that'll be the fourth that we've passed on this trip. This 2 miles on the river. The only one that had a morgue under it, though. They ain't charging me $350 a night to stay in that one Marriott. Look right there here on the left. See these doors? That's a shortcut to the Alamo right there. From the river, it should only take a few minutes. 2 minutes to get to the Alamo. And it's free to visit every day. You don't have to pay to get into it. It's absolutely free. Limit to 5 o'clock.
Dân du lịch ăn uống xong các thứ bắt đầu ra ngoài bang rồi đi du lịch.
I also have relatives who fought in the Alamo. Yes, it was my aunt and uncle just last week. They got kicked out.
Đây là khu trung tâm.
50 restaurants on the river. You can find over a dozen in this spot. Restaurant Row. Most of them. There's a lot of choices. The list, I mean, it goes on. There's Mexican food, Italian, Mexican, German, Mexican, seafood, barbecue, and Mexican food. Yeah, I know. The list goes on. Look over there. You guys see that big fish bowl? They serve 60-ounce margaritas. Look. See that? They're serving fish bowls to the table. It's the most common spot you see people fall in the river. That's real tequila right there. 60 ounces. Lots of different choices though. Really good stuff here. The first restaurant on the river opened back in 1946, and it is still here. They actually have more tables along the bank than all of these restaurants combined. Look, this is Casa Rio. 75 years ago. The big anniversary is next month, 76 years on the river.
Thì bán thơm cấm này.
They are on that side.
Mặt bán đây khi đông khách.
They kind of wait for these tables when it's really busy. They try not to use the ones that are under the bridge there. But they'll be closing soon too. I think they close at 9 on Sundays. And they will be closed on Mondays. Well, that's not real. Also, we passed this restaurant once. Traveled over 2 miles. Look at the Hilton in front of us. Remember the Palacio, the one I mentioned that was stacked together for the World's Fair. The hemisphere started April 6th, 1968. By October, 7 million guests had been reported. 6 months, it became the largest fair that ever took place in the South U.S. And everything we're passing through right now, all of this was originally solid ground. They had to dig all this up and excavate this part of the ground. This is the oldest road leading to the Alamo in Texas above us. It's a 300-year path of mission that they had to cut open back in the 1960s. This is Alamo Street above us. And I also told you that that fair is the reason why they were building that hotel so fast. There were dozens of engineers that were approached and asked to get that job done. And they all said the same thing. There's not enough time. There's no way. Yeah. The one person who said he could do it proved it. 5 days to spare, and he got lucky and was given a Guinness record all in the process. Still holds the record too, over 50 years. It's the tallest modular structure built in the fastest time. That's how they build cruise ships, like that, modular design. They build everything separate and stack it onto the base of the ship. That was 1968. It was the first hotel in the world ever built like that. It actually started in 1967 in September. So they didn't have much time, but because he kept that promise, the architect's name is H.B. Zachary. Because of the promise he kept, and the Guinness record he also achieved, they let him cut the ribbon to start the World's Fair in 1968. On April 6th, standing under that tower up here, look over the Market Street, right up here, the Tower of the Americas. That's at Hemisphere Plaza. So he was under the tower when he cut the ribbon, and if you follow this sidewalk, it'll take you to that tower. This whole part of the river was designed to bring the Riverwalk out to the Hemisphere Plaza and bring the Riverwalk and the fair together. That's why they extended it for the first time. Yeah, the convention center was also built for the World's Fair. It was built in 1968. It was finished. Henry B. Gonzalez was first Mexican-American congressman elected to the House of Representatives for Texas. And it's the largest convention center in Texas. If you follow this sidewalk, you'll go underneath the convention center to get to the tower. And that's where we host all of our conventions. Yeah, it's really, really cool, nice back there. That's where the river this extension ends back there. You'll see a nice little waterfall trickling down into this part of the river. And yes, this one here. Yes, yeah, it takes you to the tower. Well, the water doesn't go all the way to the tower. No, it takes you up basically to the convention center, and then you walk to the street level from there, and it takes you, there's guidance to the tower. You just go all the way down here, and then you turn left when you go into these big archways. You go through and you turn left. This is the Stargazer right here, guys. She's the newest edition of the Riverwalk. She's a Mayan woman designed with volcanic ash found in Mexico. Pedro Reyes is the name of the artist who designed it in Mexico City. Unfortunately, where I